Autumn Horror Story is an original comic book story set within the short story universe. Autumn is the season of the year when the weather gets cooler. Plus, it's the perfect time to dive into fantastic storytelling. If you enjoy epic comic book stories, then Short Story Universe Audio got you covered. The stories on this channel are filled with drama, sci-fi fantasy, comedy, horror, romance, suspense, etc. Also, the stories on this channel are fantastic ways for viewers/subscribers to learn character development, character arc, story structure, the character's superpowers and abilities, and lots more. Please turn on CC Closed Captions and use your imagination as you listen, learn, and enjoy my original comic book story called Autumn Horror Story. Before I forget, Happy Autumn from Short Story Universe Audio. City/Spirit Valley/Gertha Goosebottoms house. Two friends named Eric Bowman and Melissa Hunter drove down an old dirt road. They saw colorful leaves, so they pulled over their car and played in the leaves. "The leaves are amazing," shouted Eric. "That house way over there is so colorful and pretty," said Melissa as she lovingly gazed at the spooky, yet fairy tale-styled house far off in the distance. "Let's go check it out," said Eric. "Hello, we're just passing through and we noticed your fantastic house," shouted Melissa. "The front door is open," whispered Eric. "Should we go inside?" asked Melissa as she gestured toward the house with the biggest smile on her face. "Why not?" said Eric as he too had the biggest smile on his face. Eric and Melissa curiously entered the front door of the home. "Hello," shouted Melissa. "Anyone home?" shouted Eric. "The wonderful scent of ginger brought us inside," shouted Melissa. "Look, there's fresh gingerbread cakes and cookies on the kitchen table," whispered Eric. "And ginger tea," whispered Melissa. "What are you doing in my house?" shouted Gertha Goosebottom with a large wooden spoon in her hand. "Oh my gosh," shouted Eric with his hand over his heart. "You scared the life out of us," said Melissa with her hand on her forehead. "Get out of my house and off my property," shouted Gertha. Eric and Melissa frantically exited Gertha's house. "Hey! Where's my car?" asked Eric as he and Melissa frantically looked all around. "It's gone," said Melissa. "My car tracker says it's 5 miles away from here," said Eric. "Okay, my phone for no real reason just died," said Melissa. "So did mine," said Eric. "What the heck is going on?" asked Melissa. "Maybe the old lady will let us use her phone," said Eric. "Then kill us afterward," said Melissa. "It's our only option," said Eric. As they walked back to Gertha's house, they heard strange whispers all around them. "Get out! Leave, before it's too late. Death surrounds you." "Are you hearing this?" asked Melissa. "Whispers all around us," said Eric as he gazed all around. "Spooky," said Melissa as she gazed down at the spooky fog that quickly covered the ground. "Let's just use the old lady's phone, find the car, and get the heck out of here," said Eric. "Copy that," said Melissa. "Ma'am, do you have a phone we can use for a quick phone call?" shouted Eric. "Are you kidding me?" asked Gertha. "Someone stole our car, and our cell phones died for unknown reasons," said Melissa. "Do you two travel around doing pranks or something?" asked Gertha. "Can we just use your phone, please?" asked Eric. "You run off with my phone, you won't make it very far," said Gertha as she opened the front door and stuck her cordless home phone out the crack of the door. "This will only take a second," said Eric as he frantically dialed on the cordless phone. "Who the heck?" asked Melissa as she quickly grabbed Eric's attention as she curiously gazed at an older gentleman as he exited the wooded area near Gertha's house. "He seems angry," said Eric as he too curiously gazed at the older gentleman. "Is he wearing blue jeans, steel-toe worker boots, with a futuristic rifle in his hand?" asked Gertha. "You guessed it," said Melissa. "Here we go again," said Gertha as she slowly opened the front door. "Gertha," shouted Jim Boone. "Go inside and hide," whispered Gertha. Thus, Eric and Melissa ran inside Gertha's house. "Pay up or things are going south real fast," said Jim. "I ain't paying you nothing," said Gertha. For over an hour, with advanced karate skills, Gertha and Jim fought like Japanese manga and anime characters. Gertha had the personality of an elderly 75-year-old woman, yet she had a fit body like a 25-year-old female athlete. Suddenly, Gertha burst through her living room's front door, and she slammed Jim's body on top of the living room's coffee table. "Is he?" asked Melissa as she gazed at Jim's motionless body. "He's petrified," said Gertha. "Hello," shouted a young man outside of Gertha's house. "Who's that?" whispered Eric. "Jim's son," said Gertha as she gazed out the living room's window. "Is my father in there?" asked Eddie Boone. "Yeah," shouted Gertha. "Is he alive?" asked Eddie. "Sort of," said Gertha. "You're not getting away with this," said Eddie. Gertha bravely stepped outside onto the front porch. "Round 2, fight," is what you would hear if this was an old computer game. Gertha fought like she was the lead actress in a big-budgeted karate movie. 30 minutes later. Gertha returned home through the side door, with Eddie over her shoulder, and she dropped Eddie's body onto the kitchen floor. "We're totally out of here," said Eric as he and Melissa raced through the living room and out the front door. "You're the pretty couple who owns the blood orange-colored car," said Beetlebug as he and Ned the Nerd Foster stood outside of Gertha's house. "We watched you go inside," said Ned. "You stole my car," said Eric. "We want to make an even exchange," said Beetlebug. "How much?" asked Melissa. $2,000 sounds about right for a car reward," said Beetlebug. "Deal," said Eric. "Does either of you have a short stream account?" asked Melissa. "It's Beetlebug_76, said Beetlebug. "Thanks," said Eric as he quickly sent $2,000 to Beetlebug's short stream account. "Thank you," said Ned as he gestured over toward Eric and Melissa's car. "Oh my gosh," shouted Eric as he and Melissa frantically ran off toward their car. "We made it out alive," shouted Melissa as Eric drove down the highway. "Oh, snap," said Eric as he along with other cars quickly pulled over as 6 Spirit Valley security cars drove past them. "They're going in after her," said Melissa as a fleet of Spirit Valley security soldiers marched down the middle of the highway. "Yup," said Eric as he gazed up toward the skies at the Spirit Valley patrol blimp, with news reporter Connie Majors reporting live from inside the patrol blimp. "Send in the drones," shouted Johanna Forsyth. "Yes ma'am," said the 2 security soldiers as they remotely controlled 2 drones into Gertha's house. The 2 drones returned from inside Gertha's house with the petrified bodies of Jim and his son Eddie. "Gertha is trapped and terrified," said Johanna with a wicked smirk on her face. "Let me have a go at her," said Big Sassy, the caged female beast with a high-tech collar around her neck. Suddenly, Gertha's kitchen area lit up in flames. Next, Gertha's upstairs bedroom lit up in flames. Third, Gertha's entire house blew up. "My favorite house is gone," said Gertha as she sat in the backseat of Eric and Melissa's car. "Don't worry about it, Grandma," said Eric. "Houses come and go," said Melissa. "Home is where the heart is," said Eric. "Sure it is," said Gertha as she gazed back at all the commotion surrounding her house. "You're going with us to the glamorous, glitzy city called Hollymead," said Eric. "Yippee," said Gertha. "Happy autumn, Gertha Goosebottom," said Melissa. "Happy autumn, Grandma," said Eric. "Happy autumn," said Gertha with a cute smirk on her face. Did you enjoy my original comic book story called Autumn Horror Story? I enjoy reading your fantastic comments in the comments section. Welcome, if this is your first time here on the Short Story Universe audio channel. Please don't forget to click the like button, and if you enjoyed this video simply share it on your social media. To keep up to date with the epic comic book content on this channel, simply click the bell notification icon. Reminder: more fantastic comic book stories coming soon. Thanks for watching.